Good evening, barflies and lounge lizards, and welcome to Late Night Video. And tonight we'll be discussing Flesh Gordon from 1974. Co-directed by Michael Benveniste and Howard Zinn, Flesh Gordon is a sleazy sci-fi comedy and a parody of the Flash Gordon serials. And it tells the timeless tale of an Earth under assault by vicious sex rays from outer space, in a direct homage to the work of Orson Welles. The titular Flesh Gordon, along with two companions including a scientist, journey into space to put a stop to the attack. The three are shot down and captured by the wicked Emperor Wang, and thus begins a sci-fi adventure for the ages, as football player Flesh Gordon becomes a hero. Co-director Howard Zinn was a well-known figure in the adult industry. His 1970 film Mona was the first 35mm adult feature film nationally released in theaters. The film stars Jason Williams as Flesh Gordon. Williams would also appear in Cheerleaders Wild Weekend and the sci-fi film Time Walker, both of which he did production work on. Then as love interest Dell, we have Suzanne Fields. Fields is probably best known for this very film, but she did a whole bunch of movies that you two probably wouldn't be thrilled if I discussed. Next up is William Dennis Hunt as Emperor Wang the Perverted. Hunt was a film and TV actor that did a bunch of neat stuff, including Babylon 5, Deep Space Nine, and my all-time favorite sitcom, Wings. And you want to talk about an underrated and ahead of its time show? That's Wings. It was really one of the first nobody wins kind of shows.
No, you idiot, I'm a twister! Where do you get escaped mental patient?
Go watch it. And finally, we have the Great God Porno as himself. The Great God was an actor and Great God, known for films such as On the Waterfront, A River Runs Through It, and Babe 2, Pig in the City. Originally, the Great God wasn't meant to have lines, but he did such a powerful and expressive performance that the producers of the film would bring in actor Craig T. Nelson of Poltergeist and Action Jackson fame to dub in some lines, matching the movement of the Great God's mouth. The effects in this one are shockingly good for a low-budget picture, with some fantastic miniatures and stop motion. And that's because there was an incredible amount of talent behind the scenes, including Dennis Muren, Jim Danforth, Dave Allen, Rick Baker, and a whole bunch more. Jim Danforth, of the Time Machine and Clash of the Titans fame, worked on the insect creature and was credited as, well, I'm not even going to try, but it was his name spelled backwards. Apparently he did so because he wasn't fully comfortable working on such a sleazy movie. Wonder if that's why he doesn't watch the snack bar. But Danforth, along with Dennis Muren and David Allen, were three effects legends that I've discussed several times here on the channel, most recently in my Equinox retrospective. But bottom line, go watch The Primevals. It's awesome. Another interesting name in the Flesh Gordon effects team was Michael Miner, who was an artist and art director who worked on the original Star Trek series, as well as Star Trek the Motion Picture and The Wrath of Khan. He designed the Tholians for the original series. There were some creative non-stop motion effects on the film as well. For example, Wang's palace was made from household items, including drinking glasses. Flesh Gordon was made for around $470,000, and the initial 90-minute cut of the film would receive an X rating. It was then cut down to 78 minutes, and that version was able to get an R rating. The 90-minute cut would eventually get a video release, though. Before the overdub and deciding to use his real name, the Great God was referred to as Ne Suahira, pronunciation unknown, which was Harryhausen spelled backwards. The film's poster was by sci-fi and fantasy artist George Barr. Barr's work is probably well known to many of you out there in snack bar land. Some notable pieces include the cover for Jack Vance's The Dying Earth and the book of Fritz Leiber. Now this next bit is a little murky, but Universal Pictures either threatened to sue, considered suing, or tried to sue Graffiti Productions, the production company behind Flesh Gordon, because the first part of the movie was just too similar to the first chapter of Universal's 1936 Flash Gordon serial. So to avoid the lawsuit, the opening text was added to the film, and not to be confused with the original Flash Gordon, was added to promotional materials. And I couldn't verify any of that, but much like last Saturday night in the alley behind the donut shop, the snack bar is a sloppy mess. Flesh Gordon would receive a sequel in 1990 titled Flesh Gordon Meets the Cosmic Cheerleaders. Zinn would return to direct the film, but cast-wise, only William Dennis Hunt would return. And even more interesting, A 4-issue comic book series by Aircell Comics would be released in 1992. The music in the film was by Ralph Furaro. Furaro was a composer and orchestrator who worked on films such as The She-Beast, RoboCop 2, and Masters of the Universe. Wacky? Yeah, it might offer a little something for the wackily inclined. Sleazy? I suppose this is what normal peoples out there might consider sleazy. But for me,
it was Tuesday.
But as sleazy as it is, it's definitely not an adult film and leans much more into comedy and parody than anything else. Flesh Gordon has been released on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, Sex-Ray, Laserdisc, and Super 8. This is a far better film than most would expect, and easily one of the most requested films for me to cover in a long while. So if a sleazy Flash Gordon parody sounds like your cup of Innsmouth martini mix, then give it a look-see. If not, well, it's probably a little odd that you're still watching this video. I guess I'm just that charming. And that's all the time we have for this week. Please like, comment, subscribe, watch the skies, and stay atomic.
Sleaze, 美味しさに平和あり。
The Starfighter and Buck Rogers.
Okay, Kane, get ready to fight.
Meet Kane and the Draconian Marauder.
You'll never catch me.
Planes need assembly. Each plane and action figure sold separately. There's Twiki.
Get the robot.
You can pretend he's being chased by Draco, Tiger Man, and the Draconian Guard.
Calling Buck Rogers, help!
Buck Rogers, Twiki, Draco, and Tiger Man. Each sold separately. By Mego.
Morning, everyone. Table's dusty.
Mind your own dirt, Mirror.
Kitchen counter's got smudges.
Stop it. Now I'm going to clean all of you with new Clean and Shine.
But we're all different.
Not to clean and shine. The new foam from Johnson that cleans and shines almost everything in the house. I'll spray on wooden table. See the dirt it takes off? See the shine it leaves behind? Refrigerator, clean and shine. Lovely tile, clean and shine. Vinyl chair, kitchen counter.
Me too?
Pretty mirror, clean and shine.
Clean and shine's a jolly good fellow.
Clean and shine for almost everything in your house.